Good morning, Keysha Johnson here. Thank you so much for catching the replay. If you can be so kind and type in hashtag replay so I'll know that you're watching. And if you are tuning into any of my broadcasts for the very first time, go ahead and type a number 1 in the comments. I am so glad you are here. Today is February 8th of our one-year Bible reading. The one-year Bible is one that I found back in 2007. I walked into a Goodwill, looked on the bookshelf, and saw something that said one-year Bible. I remember opening up that one-year Bible, realizing that I can open it up to the date and actually read the Bible in a simple way, in a simple and structured way, a portion of the Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs. And I remember running home and starting this Bible reading plan and never looking back. And it wasn't until 2017 that I began to share that with my community here. And then we began reading together through the one-year Bible in 2018. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Patricia. And here we are for another year. So I'm so excited that you are here. As you're coming into the room, just say good morning. Let me know where you are tuning in from and what time is it where you are. It is exactly 7:28 Eastern Standard Time. So we are here every Monday through Friday at at 4:30 a.m. and on Saturday and Sundays for now at 7:30 a.m. We usually only meet Monday through Friday. That's why I say for now. Excuse me, hold the line. Y'all type in the comments, hashtag I will drink my water. So as you're coming in, grab your Bibles, grab your journals, grab your highlighters. I've kind of been up here reading, writing, doing some things before hopping on this morning, and I don't have a lot of time today. I'm going to have to get ready to scramble out of here right after we go live. So we may just have time to listen and have a quick little chat and then hop off. Is that all right? It is Sunday morning, so that's what our morning will look like today. So good morning, Anna. Good morning, Lady Yolanda. And I still have on my list to get back to you, Lady Yolanda, and I will do that when we get home this afternoon. Good morning, Tanya. Great morning, everyone. So y'all type this in the comments because I want to know if y'all remember this. Y'all type Psalm 119, 130 in the comments. Psalm 119, verse 130. Psalm 119, verse 130, and Luke 24:45. Luke 24:45. Someone type both of those in the comments. And Psalm 119:30 says, "The entrance of thy words bringeth light and understanding to the simple." The entrance of thy word bringeth light and understanding to the simple. And then Luke 24:45 says Jesus opened their minds that they might understand the scriptures. So I want us to remember that here. And each day we come in, someone type Psalm 119, 130, and then Luke 24:45. And doesn't anyone remember yesterday when I said what we do is simple here? What are the 5 simple things that we do? Can someone type those things in the comments for me? Yes, Psalm 119, 130, and then Luke 24:45. And with Psalm 119, 130, I like it in the either the New King James or the King James because it says the entrance, and I like that word, entrance. And so I remember reading that scripture one day, and I shared that with y'all years ago when we were reading through, I think The Strategy of Satan was a book that we were reading through. And the way that opened up to me and changed everything for me, the entrance of thy word bringeth light. See, look at that. I'm already talking. We have to hit play and get started. I didn't share the scripture readings or anything. Y'all hold the line. Let me grab I didn't even put the Bible reading in the caption. Hold on. And so I remember reading that saying, wait a minute, the entrance of his word brings light. And we know that light and darkness cannot coexist. So you mean to tell me I can just sit and read the word and the word will continue to bring light, bring light, bring light. And with that, the light will eventually drown out any darkness. And how are we doing that? By showing up, we're reading, we're reflecting, we're responding, and we are repeating. And so as we begin to identify the heart issues, which I would call, hold on, y'all hold the line. Let me do this. Let's see if it's showing up. And then hop out of here and pull up our audio, and we are set and ready to go. All right, so read those two verses today, and here we are with the readings. And it's 7:32. We're gonna hop in, and for those of you, you may already know, if you're catching the replay, you can always fast forward for just a few minutes. Yes, show up, we read, we reflect, we respond, we repeat. Exactly, there we go. And so our verses, I think, for this year are going to be Psalm 119, 130, and it was already Luke 24:45. All right, so Father, we thank you. We thank you for your word. We thank you for another chance to come together and to read your word. We thank you for the ability to show up today. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to read your word, to reflect on your word, to respond to your word, and to repeat and do it all over again. And we just say thank you. And we ask, Lord, that you would open up our minds, like you said, according to Luke 24:45, that we might understand the scriptures. Y'all type in the comments, thank you for making it easy and simple for me to understand your word. And Psalm 119, 130 says, the entrance of thy word bringeth light. Oh, can't forget this part. And understanding to the simple. I forgot to give y'all the second half. The entrance of thy word bringeth light and understanding to the simple. So we thank you, Lord, that you are bringing us understanding in such a simple way that we can go out and apply it to our lives. And we thank you. So let's go ahead and hop into our reading, because I can't be on long. And the thing is, I have quite a few things I want to share. So either I will put it in a recorded video. I'll do it, because I want to make sure I share this with y'all. All right.
February 8th.
If the volume is okay, type in number 2.
Today will come from the book of Exodus, chapter 28, verses 1 through 43. We'll see that the priesthood was both a privilege and a responsibility.
How was the sound?
It was wonderful to wear the glorious garments and be in the holy courts, but being a priest also brought serious obligations. They ministered first to the Lord.
Oh, y'all share this
4
out,
times
please.
in this chapter,
And
we
type
shall
in
see as we
hashtag
read,
shared.
God emphasized this point. God's servants must seek to please Him alone. We must be bondservants for Jesus' sake. They minister to the people. God's people are like jewels to Him. Our great high priest carries us over His heart and on His shoulders. He represents us before the throne of God, so that we are accepted in the beloved. And these priests, they ministered together. God supplied their needs as they served the people. There was no competition or confusion in the holy tabernacle, because they served the same Lord and obeyed the same word. God has a ministry for each of us, and He will equip us to do it.
Say, God has a ministry for me.
All right, let's begin our reading in the Bible today, here in the Old Testament. February 8th, Exodus chapter 28, verses 1 through 43. Your Moses' brother Aaron and his sons Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar will be set apart from the common people. They will be my priests and will minister to me. Make special clothing for Aaron to show his separation to God. Beautiful garments that will lend dignity to his work. Instruct all those who have special skills as tailors to make the garments that will set Aaron apart from everyone else, so he may serve me as a priest. They are to make a chest piece, an ephod, a robe, an embroidered tunic, a turban, and a sash. They will also make special garments for Aaron's sons to wear when they serve as priests before me. These items must be made of fine linen cloth and embroidered with gold thread and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. The ephod must be made of fine linen cloth and skillfully embroidered with gold thread and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. It will consist of 2 pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with 2 shoulder pieces. And the sash will be made of the same materials, fine linen cloth, embroidered with gold thread and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. Take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the tribes of Israel. 6 names will be on each stone, naming all the tribes in the order of their ancestors' births. Engrave these names in the same way a gem cutter engraves a seal. Mount the stones in gold settings. Fasten the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the people of Israel. Aaron will carry these names before the Lord as a constant reminder.
Yes, say before
The
the
settings
Lord.
are to be made of gold filigree, and 2 cords made of pure gold will be attached to the settings on the shoulders of the ephod. Then, with the most careful workmanship, make a chest piece that will be used to determine God's will. Use the same materials as you did for the ephod. Fine linen cloth, embroidered with gold thread and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. This chest piece will be made of 2 folds of cloth, forming a pouch 9 inches square. 4 rows of gemstones will be attached to it. The first row will contain a red cornelian, a chrysolite, and an emerald. The second row will contain a turquoise, a sapphire, and a white moonstone. The third row will contain a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. The fourth row will contain a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. All these stones will be set in gold. Each stone will represent one of the tribes of Israel, and the name of that tribe will be engraved on it as though it were a seal. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, make braided cords of pure gold. Then make 2 gold rings and attach them to the top corners of the chest piece. The 2 gold cords will go through the rings on the chest piece, and the ends of the cords will be tied to the gold settings on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. Then make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the 2 lower inside corners of the chest piece next to the ephod. And make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the ephod near the sash. Then attach the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with blue cords. This will hold the chest piece securely to the ephod above the beautiful sash. In this way, Aaron will carry the names of the tribes of Israel on the chest piece over his heart when he goes into the presence of the Lord in the holy place. Thus the Lord will be reminded of his people continually. Insert into the pocket of the chest piece the Urim and Thummim to be carried over Aaron's heart when he goes into the Lord's presence. Thus Aaron will always carry the objects used to determine the Lord's will for his people whenever he goes in before the Lord. Make the robe of the ephod entirely of blue cloth, with an opening for Aaron's head in the middle of it. The opening will be reinforced by a woven collar so it will not tear. Make pomegranates out of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and attach them to the hem of the robe with gold bells between them. The gold bells and pomegranates are to alternate all the way around the hem.
Every detail.
Aaron will wear this robe whenever he enters the holy place to minister to the Lord, and the bells will tinkle as he goes in and out of the Lord's presence. If he wears it, he will not die. Next, make a medallion of pure gold.
He will not die.
Using the techniques of an engraver, inscribe it with these words: set apart as holy to the Lord. This medallion will be attached to the front of Aaron's turban by means of a blue cord. Aaron will wear it on his forehead, thus bearing the guilt connected with any errors regarding the sacred offerings of the people of Israel. He must always wear it so the Lord will accept the people. Weave Aaron's patterned tunic from fine linen cloth.
Good morning.
Fashion the turban out of this linen as well. Also, make him an embroidered sash. Then for Aaron's sons, make tunics, sashes, and headdresses to give them dignity and respect. Clothe Aaron and his sons with these garments, and then anoint and ordain them. Set them apart as holy, so they can serve as my priests.
I am set apart as holy.
Also make linen underclothes for them to be worn next to their bodies, reaching from waist to thigh. These must be worn whenever Aaron and his sons enter the tabernacle or approach the altar in the holy place to perform their duties. Thus they will not incur guilt and die. This law is permanent for Aaron and his descendants.
Y'all type in the comments, God cares about how his people represent him. And we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday about not showing up anyhow when it comes to the things of God. And it's so easy for us to do that. But this lets us know that he cares, right? He cares about how we represent him. He even said, then with great skill and care, make a y'all type in great skill and great care. Great skill and great care. Make a chess piece to be worn for seeking a decision from God. God cares. God cares about the way that we represent him. And I was going to say something, but I won't even go into that. Yeah, God cares. And sometimes even the way people show up here on social media, any old kind of way, when it comes to the things of God, y'all type in a comment, he cares about how we represent him. And then y'all put, I will do, a declaration about doing things for the Lord with the spirit of excellence. So somebody word that for me. I'll hold the line. Sorry. So remember, I'm kind of short on time today. I don't want to feel rushed, but we're going to go ahead and go into the New Testament. And then it was the New Testament that I had some things I wanted to share if I have enough time. I sat down and let's see, God cares about the way we represent him. Yes, with great skill and great care. So there were quite a few things that I highlighted here. So that was my biggest takeaway. He cares about how we represent him. All right.
February 8th. And now,
I decree and declare that I will represent God with great skill, great care, and with a spirit of excellence. Someone type that for me, so I don't have to write it down really quickly. I decree, and then I'll pull it when I get off. I decree and declare that I will represent God with great skill. Thank you, Tanya. Let's add with great skill, with the word, with great care, and with the spirit of excellence. With great skill, great care, and a spirit of excellence.
Now, as we turn our attention to the reading of the New Testament, our narrative today will be from the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 31. We'll go through chapter 26, verse 13. Here is an overview of what we'll find there. We'll see that when Jesus Christ returns, it will be a time of separation. The wise will be separated from the foolish, the faithful servants from the unfaithful, the blessed sheep from the cursed goats, the wise virgins
and that was Exodus 28:15.
To meet the bridegroom. Many people profess to be Christians, but do not have the Holy Spirit and are not born again. They may mingle with the saved, but they are not really one of them, and they will not enter into the marriage feast. His coming also means evaluation. As we wait for the Lord to return, we must invest our lives and earn dividends for his glory. Christ gives us opportunities that match our abilities. And the one-talent servant is just as important as the five-talent servant.
Say, ooh, that's good.
The key is faithfulness to God's calling in your life. Wherever he has you, be faithful. For God measures us against ourselves and not against the other servants. Are you afraid to step out by faith and take some risks for God? When Christ returns, as we shall see as we read here, will be a time of commendation. We will be surprised to learn about ministries we performed that we thought were insignificant, but that he will reward. This parable is not teaching salvation by good works. Christ's sheep know that they're sheep, but they do not always realize what their service means to Christ. We will experience some surprises in that day. And now, let's continue our Bible reading here in the New Testament. February 8th, Matthew chapter 25, verse 31, through chapter 26, verse 13. But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, Then he will sit upon his glorious throne.
28:15.
All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate them as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will place the sheep at his right hand and the goats at his left. Then the king will say to those on the right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous ones will reply, "Lord, when did we ever see you hungry
Say,
and
I'm
feed
a
you,
righteous one.
or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will tell them, "I assure you, when you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me." Then the king will turn
Good
to those
morning.
on the left and say, "Away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. For I was hungry, and you didn't feed me.
Say, some
I was
will,
thirsty,
some won't.
and you didn't give me anything to drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me no clothing. I was sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me." Then they will reply, "Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and not help you?" And he will answer, "I assure you, when you refused to help the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were refusing to help me." And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous will go into eternal life. When Jesus had finished saying these things, he said to his disciples, "As you know, the Passover celebration begins in 2 days, and I, the Son of Man, will be betrayed and crucified." At that time, the leading priests and other leaders were meeting at the residence of Caiaphas, the high priest, to discuss how to capture Jesus secretly and put him to death. But not during the Passover, they agreed, or there will be a riot. Meanwhile, Jesus was in Bethany at the home of Simon, a man who had leprosy. During supper, a woman came in with a beautiful jar of expensive perfume and poured it over his head. The disciples were indignant when they saw this. "What a waste of money," they said.
Yeah.
"She could have sold it for a fortune and given the money to the poor." But Jesus replied, "Why berate her for doing such a good thing to me? You will always have the poor among you, but I will not be here with you much longer. She has poured this perfume on me to prepare my body for burial. I assure you, wherever the good news is preached throughout the world, this woman's deed will be talked about in her memory."
You all, let's see some hearts in the comments. Let's see some hearts in the comments. And if you all haven't today, make sure that you like the video. If you don't mind, if this is blessing you, a great way to say thank you is to just like or heart the video. So our key verse for today, and I have a few more minutes, our key verse is going to be, well, verses, someone type our key verses, Matthew 25, verses 40 through 41. Someone drop a heart in the comments for me too. Someone needs to find the black hearts. Y'all know black is my favorite. Well, y'all probably already know this by now. Someone find a black heart and drop a black heart for me. I need to have that up so I can start dropping my own black hearts. Matthew 25, verses 40 through 41. Y'all type in the comments. Some will, some won't. Some will serve, some turn away. Some serve, some turn away. So the response that we're looking for, y'all type heart check in the comments. The response that we're looking for is one of two, either compassion or self-centeredness, either compassion or self-centeredness. And so we saw the response where compassion was revealed, and then others, self-centeredness. And so that is the two heart checks that we're checking for today. All right, so y'all type heart check in the comments. And so again, if we're checking for compassion, And if there is no compassion there, there's always something underneath that's blocking it, and that's usually self-centeredness. So with the heart check, we're always going to be looking for one thing or the other instead of only focusing on the heart issues. So it'll kind of be a combination of both, and then you get to see where you are, and if you are not operating or working from a place of compassion, then you want to see why. Oh, y'all found the black hearts. Thank you. Although the black hearts don't look as awesome on the screen with the comments against my black, but thank you. And so it's easy to care in words, but it's harder to do it in action. And so the question you want to ask yourself, you can even ask, do my words match up with my action, or is it do my action match up with my words? Y'all know what we're trying to say. And so a couple of questions that you can help to figure out where you are is, who around you has a real need right now? Who around me has a real need by now? A real need right now. And I can talk so much on this because and I couldn't even believe it, but now I can look back and see it. I was a person that was so self-centered, and it was always me, 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 me. And I don't know if y'all remember me sharing my journey with Pastor Sheila, and so many of our meetings, I didn't realize it was all about me, all about me, all about me. I need, I want, me, 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 me. And when she looked at me and told me that all you think about is yourself, I remember feeling kind of offended, like, what? Because I thought I was the sweetest, kindest person that always cared about others. But she helped me to see my true self. She helped me to see my true self. And I remember going home and having to check my heart, like, is she real? Is she for real? Is she right? And so with that, I can't go all into that, but I worked really hard to not be so self-centered. And that's why even sometimes when it comes to social media, I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, and I was telling her that God doesn't waste a thing, right? He allows us to go through things for a reason. Everything is for a reason. And so with that, these last 3 years have been kind of rough, right? Been really rough. It was kind of hard for me to even show up. And now I feel like I'm almost fully back, right? And so when I had to stop going live, people would message me, not even asking, how are you doing? Where are you? And would be upset and kind of offended that I wasn't on live. And I was able to show grace because I understood, because I used to be there, right? People needed me to show up, people needed what I have, and I understand. And so I would slow them down. Good morning. How are you doing? And then they, oh, I'm sorry. And so I get it, I understand. So with that being said, you want to see where you are. Are you self-centered? Are you dealing with self-centeredness? So a question is, who around you has a real need right now? And so we have to slow down sometimes and not only think about ourselves, right? Not only think about ourselves. And so, yeah, I was able to extend them the same grace that she extended to me. And I was just like, that used to be me, I understand. And most of the time, people don't even realize that they're doing it. It's all about, what it is that they're going through. They need help. Listen, it was all about me. It was. I need help. I need help. I need help. And so, with that being said, who around you has a real need right now? And have you noticed, or have you been so focused on yourself? Have you been so focused on yourself that you didn't even realize the person right in front of you has a real need? Is it always all about you? So that's the heart check. That's what we are looking for today. And so we saw in Matthew, when we were reading the verses, again, the key verses 25, 40, and 41. And Jesus tells us, what you do for the least of these, you do for me, right? And some served, some turned away. And so again, compassion or self-centeredness is what we're going to be thinking about. And then, I did write down a few more things. Our declaration is, I decree and declare that I will represent God with great skill, care, and with a spirit of excellence. But that was coming from Exodus 28:15. And I did also write, I will be, and this is from the commentary, I will be faithful. What did I write? I will be faithful, with whatever God has for me. this handwriting. I will be faithful with whatever God has for me. Y'all should have saw me trying to put some of my stuff in my notes and typing it out in written form for y'all. I'm like, I couldn't even understand some of the stuff I wrote down. Jesus, I will be faithful with whatever God has for me. And then he also said in the commentary, I forgot to share this, God has a ministry for each of us and will equip us to do it. Y'all type in the comments, God has a ministry for me. And what does that mean? Our ministry that he gave someone else may not be the ministry for us. And so again, talk about not comparing and keep our eyes focused on what it is that he has given us. So going back to, and then what is this? Oh, Psalm 31:10. Oh, we're not even in Psalm 31:10. We can't live in hopelessness without God. All right. So what else do we have here? So and am I talking too fast? Are y'all good? How self-centeredness shows up in real life. And so remember, y'all type heart check in the comments. We're checking, right? For compassion. Are we moving from a place of compassion, or are we self-centered? And I know if this was years ago, I'd be like self-centered. Lord, help me deal with that. And we have the heart check tool that you can use for that, right? So how does self-centeredness show up in real life? You see a need, but assume someone else can handle it. Someone else can do it. I don't have time. I don't have time to slow down. I don't have time to focus on what's going on with anybody else. So you see a need, but you assume that someone else will handle it. Surely somebody else is going to take care of it. You say you'll follow up, but you never send the message. And when I share these things, it's usually always from what I've done, where I've been, or it could even be where I am right now, right? Or you say you're going to make the phone call, but you didn't make the phone call. Who is that? Y'all remember I shared that? I did end up making a call. And that wasn't really being self-centered. I really did forget. But there are some you say you'll follow up, but you never send a message. You never make the phone call. You avoid people. This is a big one. We avoid, let me stop saying you. Let me put we. We can tend to avoid people who require time or effort. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. You literally will see that person in the store and make a quick U-turn because you want to avoid that person who requires time or effort. Been there. And the biggest one, listen, they're all big. You choose comfort over, listen, that used to be a lot of us, right? We choose comfort over compassion. That's going to make me too uncomfortable, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to make the phone call. I'm not going to send a message. I'm just not going to do it because that's just too uncomfortable. I'd rather choose my comfort than compassion. All right? And so that will help you to see, you'll be, because again, a lot of times these underlying heart issues are so subtle that we can't even recognize them. And I'm sitting here talking so slow, and I really need to speed this up without feeling rushed. Luckily, we only have Psalms and Proverbs. So did y'all get that? So that's just to kind of help you. You didn't have to write that down, but that's just to get you thinking. And then again, if you have your guide, you have the heart check and the tools. Which one is it? I always have my stuff right here in front of me. I have all of them. So the seven keys and the 3 tools. So you can always dig a little bit deeper, right? These are just a few questions to get you thinking. And and then I'll give you a few ways that we can respond. But let's talk about a few ways to fall short. And I kind of just did that. But to just make it short, we wait for someone else to step in. We wait for somebody else to do it. We protect our time more than we protect people. And we overthink helping. We overthink helping and end up doing nothing. Did y'all get that? And so what are 3 ways we get to respond, right? We want to respond. Y'all type in the comments, truth demands a response. And let me write that down. Truth demands a response. Truth always demands a response. All right, and so Thank you once again for the guide. You're welcome. And y'all, I don't have a lot of time, but yesterday when I tell y'all, listen, I have been working, getting this stuff. Y'all have seen this personal devotion that I've had, a good 6 years. And a lot of this stuff is in writing. Some of it's printed, some of it's written. And this was just something I put together for myself. And because it was a whole bunch of papers, I ended up getting it spiral bound. But I took the time and did this yesterday. And it's another daily Bible reading guide, praying the word according to what you read. And this is good for the Psalms and the Proverbs, really any scripture, but I did it specifically for the Psalms and the Proverbs. And that took a lot of time, but thank God I had help yesterday. So I was able to get that done. All right, let's reel it back in. So we talked about ways that self-centeredness can show up in real life, talked about some ways we fall short, and then simple ways to, did we go into the simple ways to respond? Make space in your day for people. Let's just keep this simple for the sake of time. Make space in your day for people. And follow through when you say you care. Follow through and do what you say that you're going to do. Make space in your day for people and do what you say you're going to do. Again, a person of integrity. If you say you're going to send a message, send the message. If you say that you care, check in on them. All right. And so let's go ahead and let's move into Psalm. I close this. Did y'all get anything that I said this morning? Can y'all drop some hearts in the comments if you did? And so all that is that was really me guiding you and showing you how you can do a heart check and respond, right? Truth always demands a response. And so a lot of times when we're reading, we will be faced with the truth, right? It's something that Jesus said. We'll faced with the truth of where we truly are, not where we think we are, and that truth always demands a response, right? Tamiko, so good to see you. Yes, I'm so excited about the guide, and I'll share. I wasn't going to share, but then I was like, I can't not share. But if y'all know where you got the other guides from, that's where the guides are. And let me just move into the Psalms and Proverbs real fast. Oh, let me not do that. I said that I would not do that because we know we'll hear the say, let me just pray real quick. Let me read the Bible real quick. Let's just listen real quick. And I said I wouldn't do that. Not real quick. Let's just listen and read the Psalms and the Proverbs.
Psalm 31, verses 9 through 18. Here we will read about some foes that David had. David's enemies persecuted him, lied about him, and spread a net to catch him. Where could he turn for help? Only to the Lord. If the hand of the enemy is against you,
to the Lord for
find
help.
safety in the hand of the Lord. And we'll read about feelings. David was ill, possibly as a result of his own disobedience. See, God can use enemies and sickness to chasten us and bring us to a place of submission. David's enemies laughed at him, and his friends ignored him. All David could do was turn to the Lord for help, and the Lord did not fail him.
I get it.
We'll read about faith. The emphasis is on David's faith in the Lord. Because of his faith, David was not ashamed, but rejoiced in God, and enjoyed the smile of God upon his life. He knew that God's goodness would carry him through.
Say, God's
Psalm
goodness
31,
will carry me through.
Verses 9 through 18. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am in distress. My sight is blurred because of my tears. My body and soul are withering away. I am dying from grief. My years are shortened by sadness. Misery has drained my strength. I am wasting away from within. I am scorned by all my enemies and despised by my neighbors. Even my friends are afraid to come near me. When they see me on the street, they turn the other way. I have been ignored as if I were dead, as if I were a broken pot. I have heard the many rumors about me, and I am surrounded by terror. My enemies conspire against me, plotting to take my life. But I am trusting you, O Lord, saying, you are my God. My future is in your hands. Rescue me from those who hunt me down relentlessly. Let your favor shine on your servant. In your unfailing love, save me. Don't let me be disgraced, O Lord, for I call out to you for help. Let the wicked be disgraced. Let them lie silent in the grave. May their lying lips be silenced, those proud and arrogant lips that accuse the godly. Proverbs chapter.
And so I read this morning before I came on, and I wrote down, y'all type in it. Well, y'all don't have to type in this in the comments. Psalm 31:10. I was and then I just now circled a second thing. So Psalm 31 says, and Psalm 31:10 says, and I am dying from grief. My years are shortened by my sadness. My years are shortened by my sadness. And it doesn't really say this in the Bible anywhere. I want to be clear of that. But this just reminded me of how the enemy likes to keep us in a place of sadness. And here's the thing, I want to make sure I say this, like, there's nothing wrong with grief. That is a process. It is natural and one that we must go through. Sadness, like all of these emotions are real feelings, that it's okay to feel these feelings, but we need to do it with God, right? Because if we stay in a place of despair, we stay in this place of grief, we stay in this place of sadness, depression, whatever these emotions are that we're feeling without God, then yes, it can lead to an early death. And that just kind of made me think about how the enemy wanted to use sadness and depression and those feelings to literally take me out of here. Y'all type in the comments, I will give it to God. I will give it to God. And so I wrote, we cannot live in a place of hopelessness and despair without God. Y'all type in the comments. And if you feel like that's the place that you're in, those are real emotions that are okay to feel, but you can't stay there, right? Give it to God. You can't do it without God. Yes, I decree and declare I will turn to the Lord for help. Yes. So that's how a declaration, and I did write that down. And so y'all see now why I have end up having papers bound, because although I have a journal, I like my papers loose. That way I can kind of move things out of the way and not so much do that. So that's why I'm kind of, I used to love these little spiral bound notebooks. And y'all, I'm even getting all of this stuff. Listen, I even write on the covers. When I tell y'all, I'm getting all of my stuff out to y'all, like all of it. It's just taking a lot of time, and I thank God that I have help. And so let's see. These are some verses that I wrote down. Do y'all remember? And this journal is from when we were reading through, and I'm going to get back to the Proverbs. This journal was when we were reading through, this had to have been the strategy of Satan, because our verses were Psalm 119, Psalm 11, Proverbs 11:9b. Do y'all remember? Through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Do y'all remember how we kept repeating these same verses? And look at my handwriting. My handwriting is not the best, but I didn't realize like how, when I say guides and books, like, listen, I leave nothing, no room, every area. And I found that I'm liking my papers loose. Anyway, all that to say, I'm just really excited. And you know, I didn't realize that just coming back and hitting the live button, when I tell y'all, if y'all even knew the place and the space I was in, even mentally over the last 3 years, y'all would be thanking and praising God for me right now. Listen, put some hearts on the screen. Just put some hearts on the screen for me. Let's finish listening to this proverb, and while we're put some hearts on the screen for me, that I did not allow myself to stay there. And that's why being connected to the right people makes all the difference, because when you isolate yourself, and what I began to do in those 3 years, I started isolating myself, right? But we need people. Let's listen. Finish listening to the proverb.
Verses 12 and
Hi,
13.
baby Bo.
I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment.
Where's
All
courage?
who fear the Lord will hate evil. That is why I hate pride, arrogance, corruption, and perverted speech.
All right, we're done. Where's Courage? Huh? Oh, hi, Bo. Someone let him out. All right, we're good. Listen, my time is up. I told you I didn't have a lot of time today. But yes, where were we? I gave y'all the declarations. We have the key verse, what the heart check is, right? Yes, he's gotten so big. I was going to pick him up, but then he would have just knocked over my little table. I'm enjoying my little setup, but I think I do need my desk. And then we have the declarations. I decree and declare I will turn to the Lord for help. I decree and declare that I will represent God with great skill, care, and a spirit of excellence. That was from Exodus 28:15. Yes. All right. I have to go. I think that's enough. So do y'all know where to get the guides? And if you don't, and you want to know, most of you all, if you've been here, you know where to find everything. But if you want it and you don't know where to get it, type a number 7 in there. And I didn't even get to this part, but it's all here. Everything that you can do with the Psalms and Proverbs is here. And listen, I am excited. I think by far I'm most excited about this one than any of the other ones. It's I think it's 11 pages. I made a tool for y'all that you'll be able to print and use as a bookmark. This one, I'm excited about it, but I have to get ready to go so I can finish getting ready. And if you know where it is, go grab it. And if not, drop a number 7 and I'll come back. But I'll probably talk through this one with y'all tomorrow when I have some more time. It's literally step by step, like I'm sitting right there with you as you're reading through it. And I'm excited, but I have to go. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I'll come back and look for the number 7s and send it. But Tamiko, I thank you. Hint, hint, myname.com. All right, myname.com.